What if wealth was like an island and there were eight ways to get there? Stick with us, and today we will explore the eight paths to wealth. Welcome to Wisdom Etc. This is the space where we seek to understand and unpack eternal wisdom. This year, we are looking at the commonly known 12 areas of life, such as health and well being, loving relationships, spirituality, and so on. We will be focusing on one specific area each month. This month, January, we're looking at wealth and finance in the light of eternal wisdom. So we, in the previous videos, we have looked at principle of stewardship. Then we look at the framework of time, attention, energy, money, and then energy again in this process of creating wealth. And just recently, we looked at the concept of transformation in the area of wealth creation. So if you haven't watched it, go and do so. There are life changing concepts and ideas that can also benefit you. Today, we are completing this series of wealth and finance, and we will be looking at the eight path to wealth. We are not just talking about money, but real lasting wealth. If you could think of wealth as an island, and there are different paths, different ways to get to these islands. Some take longer, some are more challenging, but every path leads to growth. So let's walk through these eight paths together. The first path to wealth is acquiring experience, fusion, and sales. Let me break this down for you. Experience is everything. You might not always see how something fits into your future, but trust me, every lesson adds up. Life gives you experiences. Your life story, things you lived up to this moment, places you've been to, and the people you've met, and that includes the bad stuff that happened to you. You may search for experiences, you may pay for it, but in other words, you can be very intentional in the acquisition of experiences. These experiences are a combination of theories you've learned, the skills you have developed and tested, the relationships you have had on the way. They are all part of your experiences. And those experiences shape your intelligence, your wisdom, your ability to succeed. An experienced person or an experienced professional, for example, have lived many hours into that profession or in the process to becoming that professional. Now, then we have fusion. When you mix your experiences, your know-how, your skills, your ideas, and you connect it with the right people to test and validate, you create something bigger that bigger than the sum up of its parts. It is like it's like cooking. Each ingredient alone is fine, but you put them together and you mix them, and boom, magic happens. You have a brilliant product, a brilliant service that you can offer the world. Now, the third part of this first path is sales. That's the third element. And whether you like it or not, you are selling something every day. Your skills, your hours on a job, your ideas, your vision. Selling is about Selling is not about pushing products. It's about helping people to see value. If you have a blockage with sales, challenge it. Selling is serving. And those who master sales master their own financial freedom. So really think carefully that the key things are on how you offer products, your ability to sell your products or your idea, your services to others. The second path is knowledge, wisdom, and instruction. It's what this channel is all about. You can't sell well without knowing how to persuade or negotiate and connect. Success isn't something that will fall into your lap. It is built, and you build it with knowledge. Every time you learn something new, you are giving yourself another tool to create opportunities where they were non-existent before. What is the specific knowledge out there that you need to bring you to the next level in your career, or the knowledge that you need to bring your business to the next level? You may need to connect with people, perhaps join a mastermind group, get a mentor, or a business coach. In terms of content, there is so much available these days out there, and it may get actually overloaded. So just choose choose two or three thought leaders in the area you're interested in. Listen, make notes, evaluate what they are saying. Can you apply that to your reality? And to what extent can you apply that to your reality? So, buy wisdom. Above all else, get understanding, get knowledge, have a growth mindset to keep developing yourself and expanding yourself. The third path is networking. You've heard it before. It's not just what you know, but it's who you know. But here's the real key. Uh, what value do you bring to your network? The best connections happen when you focus on giving, not just receiving. Focus on becoming an interesting person. Make yourself useful. Add value to people before you try to withdraw something out of them. Be really interested in them. Be interested in people. Get to know their stories, their pain, and how do they got to the place where they are now. How do they got to this place of influence they are now. Find out what they need. Find out what they want. Can you meet any of their needs? So invest in relationships, and doors will open to you. Fourth path is entrepreneurship. Starting something new isn't easy, but it's the fastest way to grow your wealth. Whether it's a business or a side hustle or a new idea, entrepreneurship is about making things bigger. Your influence, your impact, your income. It's the ability and the readiness to develop, organize, and run a business enterprise, and doing it with all its uncertainties in order to make a profit. So, your business will fail when you can't cover costs. So, you need to understand money flow, business management, resource allocation, building and training a team. And speaking of money, you need to understand leverage, capital, smart investments, and then you will unlock some financial power. But certainly, it is a great path for you to consider. The fifth path is investing. Investing is planting seeds. Some grow quickly, others take years. But if you plant wisely, you always have a harvest. And wealth isn't just about what you gain, right? It's about how many lives you touch along the way. Every decision you make today shapes the impact you leave behind. You can invest in people, in your family, by giving your time, your attention, becoming a better trainer to your kids. You can invest in your team, the people working under you. That's called multiplication of talents. It's like multiplying you, teaching people the skills you have, multiplying yourself and your influence in the lives of others. Now, in the area of finance investment, if you are not investing yet, learn about it. It goes back to the previous path. Buy wisdom. Learn from those that know more than you. Start small and careful, but start moving towards becoming investors. Seizing opportunities and minimizing the risks. Yes, risks. There are always risks, right? Greater the risks, greater the reward in our investment. So spending time investing in people, for example, can be a risk because they may walk away despite all the investment you've given them. Investing in a business startup may not give you all the return you expected. In fact, you may lose everything. So think about that, and think about God. God is an investor. You may remember in the parable of the bags of gold in the Gospel of Matthew, I think Matthew 25, the master distributes bags of gold to three of his servants and expected them to make good use of those resources of this gold. He expected growth, multiplication, at least an interest. In the storyteller, the parable says two servants were faithful, and they multiply the bags of gold of their masters. But the third one was wicked and lazy servant. He dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's gold, and they had nothing to give in return. Now, if you understand that you are a steward of God's resources, that you will also then you will also look into ways to invest the resources God has trusted in your hands. So think about that. You are an investor as well. Just God is an investor. The sixth path is creation, production, and reproduction. Now, think of creation as the birth of ideas, and think of production as turning those ideas into reality, into powerful, tangible results. And think about reproduction as carrying forward what already exists, adding value, and ensuring longevity. Even if you know that there is nothing really new under the sun, reproduction renews and expands the impact, making this impact last. So you don't really have to reinvent the wheel. Just you just have to improve, expand, and adapt what already exists. In fact, great businesses, big businesses around the world, they don't always create something brand new. They take something that already exists and they make it better. So these three elements, creation, production, and reproduction, they are essential for leaving a lasting legacy. And they are also a path to wealth, and they can build wealth. The seventh path is storytelling. We live in a world of stories, right? The world runs on stories. People buy, people invest, and engage because of narratives. People buy into stories before they buy products. They invest in stories before they invest in businesses. A great seller is a storyteller, always intentional, always crafting narratives that captivate and inspire people. So, if you can tell a compelling story, whether it's yours or someone else, you always have influence. So, do you want to sell more? Tell better stories. Learn storytelling. Stories shape perception. Stories drive action and create movement. So, invest time to learn storytelling. Now, the eighth and last path is the digital world. Digital technology has changed everything. Wealth today isn't just about physical resources. We live pretty much also in the digital world, in the digital age. So integrity and strategy are more important than ever. The digital world is the fastest way to scale wealth. And if you use it right, uh, if you and your services, your products, your ideas, your influence can have an incredible exposure to engage many, many people in many places around the world, not just in your local area or on your physical networks, but around the world. So use it wisely. Always speak the truth and make an impact for good using the digital resources in the digital world. Use it for good to create wealth, but to create your influence with the message that you have. Use it for good because our world are desperate for thought leaders, great influential people, right? Now, uh, so those are the 8 paths. I hope you enjoy them. They provide a holistic approach to achieving wealth. There is no single way to wealth, but when you combine them, you combine experience, knowledge, networking, entrepreneurship, investment, creativity, storytelling, and digital mastery, you set yourself up for lasting success. Now, my question to you, which path will you take first? Hey, thank you for spending this time with us today. Please like and subscribe, comment your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Help us to make this channel relevant by sharing your thoughts. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and moving towards your purpose. Stay blessed. See you soon.